Howdy all, this is Texas Gaming Industries here, and welcome back to another episode of my Let's Play Railway Empire. In the previous episode, we basically bought out several of my industries with over $450 million in cash, as we have entered the Great Depression. And in this episode, we're basically going to do some modifications and updates to many of our schedules, as well as trying to purchase more of these industries to increase our company net worth. First off, the Casper to Baker City freight. Now let's see. Beer, lumber, pottery. Beer, steel, pottery. There is no cargo between these two cities that needs to be accepted. So in reality, I'll have to replace one of these industries here. Let me think. Maybe I could replace it with a lumber mill. Replace it with a furniture factory or something. But the question is, where will my steel be produced? Well, steel is not the main source of income in this area. So the Lopez to Baker City freight will be discontinued, the tracks to it ripped up, as well as the signals leading to that track removed, which it already has. So the only train that will be traveling on this line is the Lopez Pit to Guanamuca's numbers 1 and 2, as they need both coal and iron ore, and along with lumber to make tools. The line between Norris Mine 1 and 2 will still be available for service, but the coal train bound for Baker City will no longer be in operation. Which, thankfully, is not on the schedule. Now let's see. I think I might need to increase the amount of trains traveling from Ship Chopping to Casper. Let's upgrade it to 2 trains. Let's check out the staff. Maintenance, speed, lower cost in auctions by 32%, lower cost auctions by 26%. Inventor, why the heck not? Let the Prairie pick up the load of logs from the camp and deliver it to the sawmill. And for good measure, we'll basically operate another train on this line too. This basically means now a train of lumber is bound for Baker City. Which means lumber is now a needed product. Seattle's still producing paper. Portland is producing tons of newspapers. Let's see, what cities need newspaper? Well, Baker City is one, and it has a 91% delivery rate, which is good. Connection bonus. Ooh, we made $1,214,000. That's pretty good. Let's see, connection bonus 144,000. First off, let's see what cities need salt. Well, Houston needs salt. Well, Houston already has salt delivered there by wagon, well, by not truck, but Odessa needs salt. After all, this was even though refrigeration was a common thing in this time period by now, it wasn't back when the game first started, because meat was often used to help keep food and keep fish and meat in good, edible condition. Let's see, 1%, 3%, 8, 7, 6%. I guess I'll just leave it at that. Then we'll basically connect this track. And now trains of salt can now be delivered to Odessa, which is good. Let's put in the old mod. put in that speed bonus fireman and a caboose, so now the train will travel at 51 miles an hour. Now, as you can see in our research tab, the per month thing is finally gone, which means we no longer are going to get revenue, no innovation points, no matter how far we go into the game now. So this basically means all 6 of these innovations, as well as these 2 locomotives, are the last things to acquire. But since the Super Hudson, which is basically the Dreyfuss Hudson, aka the New York Central's J3As, isn't available until late 1930s, and the E-Series basically by possibly the 1940s, we're basically just going to keep the locomotives that we have. Oh, and Baker City is now growing. That's great. This is basically possibly due to the new industry I have. Well, once the Casper to Baker City freight starts operating, now we can basically start making profit. Let's see. No new commodities, but the ceramic works. It's making pottery, but the only city that needs pottery around here is Salt Lake City, and it already has a lot of it already. Though Kingman is going to be an exception to that. So I'll have to build a special freight train for that destination, I suppose. Baker City to Kingsman. Special freight. And put the Mountain class engine in charge. New engineers. Both are reliable. That one too. Well, I don't want this train to break down on the main line, so it will have a 204 reliability bonus and maintenance requirements down to 50%. And to make sure it picks up meat on the return trip, a refrigeration car will be added. Alright, 3 cars of beer, 3 cars of pottery. Let's see. A promoter, that's good. Station master, 5% dispatch. Negative bonus for her. Negative bonus from Isaac Jameston to my station master. I think I'll just keep the crew I have. Let me think. Unless I basically unlock this engine, I cannot get any of these. Well, considering that Kingman is producing... Ooh, it really needs upgrades. And it needs wheat. Badly. Let's see. The nearest place I could find wheat is the Winston Manor. Looks like I'll have to make a special train for it, I suppose. Or at least try to connect it to the line that goes to Kingman. Nah, I'll just probably run a special train to Kingman. SD for special delivery, and the Santa Fe class engines will operate this train. Let's just hire these guys and then fire them on the spot. Let's see. Tuscan is big enough for candies now. So I better also upgrade this train. Well, basically add another train to follow it. And let's see, what else? I still have my promoter, so I still want to basically make sure I have a good amount. Well, Great Falls could use some promotional boost. That way, a hotel could be built in this town for my passengers. With a hotel, my passengers will personally enjoy riding the trains if they can basically rest in a hotel before returning on the same train home. Let's see. It's a little bit of a steep grade out of Los Angeles, but my 210-2s can handle that grade with no trouble. Cattle, yes, I'll pay that stupid ransom. And basically, with the first load of grain rolling into Kingman, chocolates, well, candies didn't be produced, and then could be transported to Tuscan, which is great, because there hasn't been a Tuscan to Kingman freight at all. But since the line is short, I think a 280 could basically handle that train. And since it was only going to carry clothing between these two cities, it's not going to be too much of an issue. So this train will basically be a local on the main line. Except for that section, though. There's a steep hill outside of Tuscan. I think I probably might have to upgrade it to something a little more stronger and faster. I think the 480 Mastodon will basically handle it. Surely the only one I have on mainline river freight. You'll drop it off, pick up loads of lumber back to Tuscan. Super Hudson, no thanks. Engineer, stoker, conductor. Ooh, speed bonus, that is good. Now, my engine can travel up to 53 miles an hour. A lot more faster, and won't delay the time between steps. Professor picks up more clothing, and now with wheat being delivered to Tuscan, Kingsman, candies can now be produced, which is good. But with the freight running between these two cities, Kingman and Tuscan is going to grow pretty well. Let's see, what cargo is needed? Beer for one. Albuquerque doesn't have beer, neither does Kingman or El Paso. Again, I'll probably might have to run a special freight train to carry that beer into town. Let's see. Los Angeles, Hudson, special freight, and this time with another 482. Let's see. Los Angeles to Kingman freight is still on that line, but the Los Angeles to Tuscan freight is also operating on this line too. You have to keep tabs on every single train you operate. You gotta make sure that each one of them is making a profit and not a loss. Let's see, conductor, don't need for them. We're like 4 years away before unlocking the new Streamlined steam locomotives. But the Portland, Maine to New York transcontinental Southern freight basically make them stop in Kingman to drop off this load. At least beer will be dropped off in the town. At least it can be picked up. Some loads bound for Tuscan. Nearly 1.5 million in profit. It's pretty darn good. Alright, so I'll need to upgrade this. I also need to upgrade this as well. Perfect. With beer transported, the town's population is going to grow again. It needs papers, cheese, liquor, fruits, milk, clothing items, logs, corn, and wheat. Well, corn is being delivered down here, but I need some fruit, though. If only I had some fruit farms up here. Well, I guess I could basically operate a special freight train between these two. Special delivery 1. Livestock near Atlanta, no thanks. We'll put the... We'll just put the Santa Fe one on this again. And basically operate another train for it, as well as one more. That way, 3 loads of free trains full to the brim with fruit can be delivered to Tuscany. Seems like the signaling system near Denver is causing all sorts of trouble. So I think from now on, these signals will have to go. That will probably do it. Express line from Albuquerque to Wambuca, $605,300. Very much around at this. Pretty much very round at that point. The Rogers 10-wheeler is picking up the mail. The Pacific pulls in with a passenger train from El Paso. I'm still doing well in profits. This train's dropping off beer. And here comes the first load of fruit, straight from the White Manor. A little bit of the visual glitch right there. Sorry about that. Drop off the fruit, and the town's population will start growing again. It needs liquors and cheese along with paper. Fortunately, Albuquerque is producing paper too. So at least a freight train full of paper can help the town grow a little bit. But on the other hand, the train from Tucson to Albuquerque can now handle meat traffic. The town is growing pretty well, and I'm pretty sure the town will now be able to grow a new industry pretty soon. Let's have a look at our town list. All these towns I connected have grown considerably, though some towns like St. Louis haven't been growing very successfully. So it needs logs, and corn, and that's basically it. I might as well build a new connection anyway. Now trains coming straight from Indianapolis can travel down to St. Louis. Build over, connect here, and basically to avoid traffic jams, the signals on this line will be removed. There we go. We'll put the Malay in charge. Let's see. Nope, no speed bonus engineer for this one. Security guard? Nah, we'll just add it. Super Hudson, I need to wait 2 more years. Alright. With its load of logs now being delivered, we'll also need to start delivering corn. Let's see. Corn. There's wheat, there's sugar, there's logs, there's milk. Let's see. Oh! The stalk farm actually is nearby. I'll just roster a special train between those 2 cities then. Let's basically put in the prairie for this operation. And once the corn is delivered to St. Louis, then the town's population will start growing again. And at the same time, we might as well start operating some passenger trains as well. One train from Indianapolis to St. Louis, 5 loads of passengers, and 1 car of mail, P for passenger, and a venerable 462 Pacific on this, and in return, a freight train between these two cities, an F, and starting off in St. Louis rather than Indianapolis, putting the 282 Mikado on the point. We'll pick up some loads from St. Louis, and now that the city is starting to grow, we can now start to expand the production of the factory. Now we got 24 loads of beer that can be produced at one time. Let's see. Where is the wheat coming from, though? Oh, this one is. But this wheat is coming in by 58%. That's not really that great, but... Oh! And New Orleans doesn't even have any wheat coming in either. Well, that can't do. Well, that won't do, I mean. Let's see. There we go. Change the switch again. That. And that. Graphical. There's so much going on, the game is basically not trying to render everything at twice the speed. Put the prairie down again, pick up its load of wheat, and take it down towards New Orleans. Oh, bother, this train. Another traffic jam. I guess I'll have to basically add these signals. And that should basically fix the problem. And now with grain now properly being delivered, we can basically start expanding our production here. Livestock near Atlanta. Again, no thank you, sirs. Let's see. Do I have a grain train going to St. Louis? I don't. Let's see. Special delivery 1. Two, 3, 4. And not to mention, since I have more money, might as well purchase a couple more industries. And also upgrade this one as well. Perfect. 62 carloads of wheat per month. That really will help me out very much when I need, well, you know what I'm talking about, just to help my company out very much in these trying times. But my railroad's development plans have been interested in building a new streamlined train, though. Something to replace many of the aging 462 Pacifics on the local passenger trains, and Hudsons as well. Let's see. Well, it's 1938. Might as well get this new engine. Say hello to the Dreyfus Hudson. Now, you might be wondering, why does this engine look different compared to this? Well, this is because this is the engine you would normally get if you bought the game basically when it was released. But I personally bought this game in a pre-order package, where I got some of the songs from its original soundtrack, as well as a custom liveried Super Hudson. Now, there's no way I could transform this back into the streamlined Silver Hudson, but it's kind of a nice, cool touch that we get to have this custom engine in the game. Plus, with this new engine, we could basically now replace the aging Hudsons give this new streamlined shroud to the Hudson-type locomotives. And as for the regular Hudsons, they'll finally replace many aging Pacifics on passenger trains. As the Pacifics themselves will basically replace the 460 Roger 10-wheelers on the mail trains. And St. Louis is now growing pretty well, and with 20 loads of grain to be processed into beer, our town of St. Louis is going to grow big. Speaking of which, Professor, let's earn some extra money back. Let's see. Let's purchase the stock farm, the Robbins Estate vegetable farm. Might as well upgrade it as well. Let's see. The Hobbs Cattle Ranch, the Young Milk Ranch. Let's see, what else? Well, I guess that basically all the industries I connected to have been purchased. Possibly. I'm not so sure. I'm just going to have another look around to see. Oh, I actually haven't bought the salt mine, though. And that thing that cost me 18 million. As well as the Hobbs well. That's for 6 million. What about the Harker Fruit Farm? 4 million. It's kind of surprising, really. It's 1938. Our company has been running for over a century, which is kind of an amazing feat if you think about it. Not many railroads can basically last for more than a century without being merged or taken over by a larger railroad or shutting down business completely. Let's see, Lee Manor, I'm purchasing that. It's a cotton farm near Sioux Falls. No, thank you. Let's see. We'll also purchase the casino, the introductory program, the electric heating, and the electronic interlocking tower. This means the last 3 items is the EMT E-unit diesel, the assembly lines, and the steam injector pump. And once that is done, all the technology that we have gathered for over a century will finally be under our control. And basically, I think that will basically do it for this episode. So if you liked this episode of Railway Empire, please be sure to leave a like, a comment, as well as subscribe to Texas Gaming Industries, where new videos are uploaded every Friday at 12 o'clock U.S. Standard Time. Well, U.S. Central Time, so to speak. This is Texas Gaming Industries saying thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next episode. Bye!